I think what I remember most about films is the people that I've worked with rather than the film itself, if that makes any sense.
Sam Elliott just hit 80, and he is done biting his tongue. The screen legend with a thunderous drawl is finally naming the 6 performers who turn his dream sets into dusty nightmares. For half a century, he has worn every kind of hat on camera, from sheriff stars to military helmets. Yet he swears respect means more than wardrobe, and some partners never bothered to tip theirs. These new revelations crack like gunfire through Hollywood. Paparazzi scrambled, publicists panicked, and long-forgotten stories stampeded back into view. So who angered the man whose stare can still quiet a saloon? Grab the reins tight, because the first name gallops straight into controversy. Number 6, Jane Campion. It began with a podcast that was meant to be a friendly chat. Mark Maron invited Sam onto WTF, and the host asked about recent westerns. But instead of polite praise, Sam unloaded like a runaway stagecoach. There are all these guys running around in chaps and no shirts, he complained. And all these damn hints at homosexuality through the whole damn movie. His words echoed across the industry like a canyon shout. He called out Campion's Film The Power of the Dog by name, saying it missed the scent of real sagebrush. I mean, what the hell does this woman? And I'll admit she's a brilliant director. I love her earlier films. But what the hell does she know about the American West? She's from New Zealand. To Sam, the West is not simply scenery. It is cold dawns, blister hands, and wind that steals every extra breath. He felt Campion polish that grit until it sparkled like a museum display. Campion fired back within days of the Directors Guild of America event, smiling but sharp. "What can I say?" she shrugged in an interview with Variety. He was being a little bit of a Sorry, but he's not a cowboy, he's an actor. The West is a mythic space. There's a lot of room on the range. Those sentences cut through Hollywood chatter like a branding iron on fresh hide. Campion argued that legends grow through imagination, not only memory. She pushed the argument wider, accusing Sam of keeping the gates locked on who can ride into the genre. "I think there's a little sexism in what he said," Campion continued. "You look at all the great westerns made in Spain by Sergio Leone. No one questions his connection to the genre. But when it's me, a woman from New Zealand, suddenly I don't belong." The debate was no longer about one movie. It became a duel over who gets to guard the Western myth. Critics took sides, talk shows buzzed, and social media stampeded with hot takes. Yet Sam stood firm. To him, The Power of the Dog felt like a museum piece, lacking the sweat and scars that define real ranch life. This face-off showed how a single film can crack open decades of tradition and invite fresh winds through old saloons. But Jane Campion was only the start. Another star felt the sting of Sam's lasso, and your jaw may drop at who it is. Number 5, Benedict Cumberbatch. When Sam dissected The Power of the Dog, he soon zeroed in on its British leading man, and the sparks flew again. Sam demanded, "What the hell does this Brit know about the American West?" The question was more than shade. It was a warning shot across the pond. Sam argued that Cumberbatch's accent, posture, even his walk, sounded like theater, not pasture. He painted ranch life as dawn to dusk labor, not dramatic stares and whispered pain. Critics fired back at Sam, calling him a museum relic trapped in spurs and ego. They said he feared change, that modern westerns can show vulnerability and still ride strong. Sam did not flinch. He doubled down, insisting he was protecting a legacy, not gatekeeping it. To him, Cumberbatch's performance twisted cowboy history into something untrue, almost insulting. Inside studio corridors, the uproar caused nervous whispers. Should they answer this gravel-voiced icon or let the storm pass? Silence won. Cumberbatch stayed quiet, perhaps trusting the dust to settle on its own. Even so, Sam's words carved a deep line in Hollywood sand, splitting old-school grit from new-age nuance. Two visions now stare each other down on the open range. One prays for raw dust and straight talk. The other seeks shadowed hearts and layered meaning. Whose trail will future films follow? The answer may decide the next century of Western storytelling. For now, one thing is sure. Sam Elliott still rides tall, unafraid to call out anyone who, in his eyes, fumbles the reins of the frontier. Across podcasts and reaction videos, new voices kept chiming in. A young rodeo queen said Sam spoke her truth about dusty authenticity. A queer historian replied that myth thrives on fresh viewpoints, and that Cumberbatch's performance opened a gate for silent stories never told before. University panels sprang up overnight. One speaker asked if the cowboy was always straight, strong, and stoic, or if Hollywood simply edited doubt from the legend. Another answered by quoting ranch diaries filled with quiet grief, proving that softness and survival have always shared the saddle. Magazine covers splashed huge headlines about Elliott's era clashing with generation streaming. The debate even hit TikTok, where teens turned Sam's raspy critique into comedy sketches, while ranch hands posted side-by-side videos, comparing rail chores to Cumberbatch's screen tasks. Through it all, Sam kept ranching, fixing a barn roof during a televised interview, living proof of his words. Journalists noted the calluses on his hands and the sun lines on his face, tiny receipts of time spent in open air. Cumberbatch resurfaced briefly to receive a humanitarian award. He thanked the audience, smiled, and vanished without a single reference to Spurs or sagas, a silence many read as classy and calculated. By the time leaves turned in Los Angeles, the storm had cooled, but the canyon carved by those loud echoes will shape future Western for years. Audiences now lean forward, sniffing for real dust behind every frame. 4 more names remain on Sam's private hit list, and insiders whisper the next reveal could be even wilder. Stay tuned, because this trail ride is far from over. Sam's blast wasn't just acting chatter. It punched straight at Hollywood's values. Some viewers called him stubborn, unwilling to bend with the times. Others cheered, saying a lone voice finally stood up for tradition in a town wild about reinvention. Whether you cheer or cringe, Sam Elliott proved that some stories should never be rebuilt without honoring the roots that hold them up. When the noise over the power of the dog finally calmed, critics kept arguing in back rooms. Sam simply tipped his hat and vanished down the trail, certain he had spoken his raw truth. Like every tough cowboy he ever played, he showed zero fear, zero regret, and zero apology. His firestorm was bigger than one film or one star. It was about legacy. He warned the world not to repaint the past until it looks nothing like the real deal. And love him or hate him, one Sam Elliott talks about the West. Every year perks up. Now another name trots onto his dislike list, a modern saddle star he just can't stand. Why does this next cowboy rank so low in Sam's book? Let's kick open the saloon doors and see. Number 4, Kevin Costner. Sam Elliott doesn't only play cowboys. He is one. Before the studio lights, before makeup, before a single script, Sam learned grit the hard way. Under brutal sun, beside honest ranchers, hands cracked and raw from real work. His boots once stomped dusty ground, not fancy carpets. That deep voice is an act. It's the sound of canyon wind and squeaky saddle leather. Listeners don't just hear him, they feel him, because every word drips with real trail dust. So when Hollywood rolled out glossy westerns starring picture-perfect heroes, Sam sniffed trouble. Then Kevin Costner surged forward, writing films like Wyatt Earp and the smash series Yellowstone. Crowds roared, critics swooned, but Sam winced. His issue was respect, not rivalry. Costner's Screen Rancher looked to Sam like a costume party cowboy. He plays a rancher like it's Halloween, Sam reportedly told a friend, and that quote stuck like a burr. Polished charm might wow cameras, Sam argued, but genuine grit is earned in scorching heat and freezing nights, not on a soundstage. Fans call Yellowstone rough and thrilling. Sam calls it tidy, staged, the hat's too clean, the feeling's too loud. The show, he says, turned the harsh land into a fashion ad, and that feels wrong. Even while Yellowstone broke rating records, Sam watched in silence, unimpressed. Where viewers saw power struggles, he saw packaged melodrama. He says the real West reeked of sweat, dust, and unspoken sacrifice, not gold-coated speeches. Producers even begged him to appear for one cameo, hoping his gravel voice would anchor their myth. He walked away, not from ego, but from principle. Loyalty and endurance are sacred, and he felt Yellowstone sold him like souvenirs. It's not a Western, he once told a buddy. It's a costume drama in cowboy hats. Industry insiders swear the air chills 10 degrees when Sam and Costner share a ballroom. No screaming matches, No headline insults, only biting silence that screams louder than words. Sam Stair seems to say, act the part if you must, but I've lived it. This friction isn't simple pride. It's a burden of truth. The true West was built on sleepless nights, frozen mornings, and quiet grit, not perfect lighting and hero music. Sam refuses to watch that heritage shrink into merchandise. Even today, he stands as a rare breed. He didn't just wear a cowboy hat. He earned every speck of dust on it. And if someone polishes a legend too bright, he is ready to call them out. But Costner isn't the last name on Sam's hit list. Another star managed to rattle him even more. Buckle up, because the next reveal might shock you. Number 3, Ashton Kutcher. For Sam Elliott, acting is no casual gig. It's a sacred craft calling for raw honesty. You cut your soul open, pour truth on the screen, and show respect for the art, or you step aside. Anything less is not just lazy, it's an insult. So when Ashton Kutcher burst into Hollywood with goofy charm and tech dreams, Sam didn't just doubt the kid, he felt insulted. Kutcher lit up early 2000s screens, jumping from that 70s show to rom-com leads while building startups. The industry loved his grin, his energy, his millions of followers. Sam saw something else, a celebrity, not an actor. Netflix cast them together in The Ranch. A mix of humor and drama that looked perfect on paper. Insiders say it felt more like two strangers shouting across a canyon. Sam never broke professionalism. He hit his marks, delivered lines, and stayed courteous. But the room froze whenever both men stood nearby. One crew member whispered that the set grew uncomfortably quiet in their presence. Another staffer quoted Sam admitting, "He's a decent guy, but not a real actor." To Sam, Ashton symbolized everything Hollywood had traded away. The town now prized flashy fame over hard-earned skill, brand over bruises. Where were the performers who studied scripts until dawn, dug deep, and honored history? Kutcher's easy grin looked like a product sold by a marketing team. Sam thought, a true actor shows up with nothing but spirit. Yet Kutcher seemed to arrive with a polished brand plan. Still, on screen the duo clicked. Audiences loved the banter. Kutcher praised Sam's wisdom in interviews, calling him a mentor. Fans believed the respect was real. Old friends of Sam shrugged, saying it was just another convincing performance. Nothing more. Sam was overheard muttering, "He's acting like a guy who learned acting on YouTube." That little side comment sliced deeper than any on-set argument. It sounded less like a dig at Kutcher's habits and more like a mourning cry for a lost craft. To Sam, the issue was never Kutcher's manners. By all testimonies, Ashton showed up polite, smiling, and eager. Yet kindness alone could not bridge the canyon between old-school devotion and quick-click celebrity culture. Sam's Hollywood began in another era, one where actors fought for roles, studied scripts until dawn, and measured success by sweat-not-trending tags. He worshipped the stage long before he ever met a camera, believing you earned performance through blood and heart, not viral clips. Ashton, in Sam's eyes, was the poster child for the fast-track age. Viral fame, overnight leads, brand deals that landed before the ink on headshots went dry. Sam saw stardom handed out too freely, untested by pain or mileage, and it unsettled him. Critics argued back, praising the ranch for balancing humor with heart. Millions enjoyed the generational clash between the weathered cowboy and the tech-savvy son. Sam nodded, did the job, yet never peeked behind the curtain because he felt nothing real waiting there. Deep inside, he wrestled with a harsher riddle. Where did the soul of acting go? Can true craft survive inside an algorithm that pushes views over values? Is there room left for the truth that once turned actors into storytellers instead of influencers? Kutcher became Sam's reminder that the industry love had changed. Maybe forever. Their series ended without scandal, only a frosty distance that spoke louder than any leaked text. Careful viewers felt the chill in every pause, sensing the divide between legacy and trend. Back on set, the tension grew invisible roots. Soundstage corridors echoed with polite greetings, yet everyone sensed an unspoken gulf that could swallow conversation whole. Even wardrobe noticed contrasts. Sam arrived in weather-worn denim he owned for years, while Kutcher stepped from his trailer in spotless boots fresh from costume racks. During table read, Sam sat motionless, eyes drilling the page. Kutcher bounced his leg, cracked jokes, and tapped his phone between scenes. Younger cast members loved the energy, but Sam wondered if focused silence had become ancient history. One afternoon, Sam suggested pausing before a heavy line to let sorrow breathe. Kutcher grinned and said pacing could be fixed in post, an answer that tightened Sam's jaw though he stayed silent. To him, emotion is captured in the moment, not edited later. Sam later told a confidant the business used to treat pauses like gold. Now silence gets trimmed to keep short-form viewers from swiping away. His worry reached beyond ego. It felt cultural. The debate spilled into magazines. Think pieces asked whether Sam was guarding the gates or protecting a fading art. Sam refused to join the noise, choosing silence that felt stronger than any tweet. While that set cooled, another name galloped onto Sam's blacklist. Who is he and why did Sam glare so hard? Let's dig into the dust. Number 2, Nicolas Cage. Sam Elliott seldom raises his voice, yet every word lands like a branding iron. His pauses carry more meaning than pages of dialogue. He masters less, building whole world with single sigh. Nicolas Cage is the opposite, an on-screen supernova. Loud, bright, reckless, impossible to ignore. He enters a frame like a carnival ride gone wild, and you either cheer or cover your ears. They shared top billing in Ghost Rider back in 2007, yet felt light years apart. One critic quipped, "If Sam Elliott's style is a quiet storm, Nicolas Cage is a tornado." The comparison still feels perfect. Sam's art breathes in the empty spaces. He invites you closer, earning emotion rather than forcing it. Cage hurls himself into chaos, chasing extremes some call genius, and others call noise. Sam found little honesty in that frenzy. On set, Sam stayed calm, courteous, and professional. Crew members noticed that the pair never bonded. No private chats, no shared laughs, only a respectful gap you could ride a horse through. Later interviews carried veiled barbs. Sam spoke of actors who hijack scenes or turn movies into a circus. Everyone knew who he meant. In Confidence, he once sighed, "He's more firework than flame, loud, flashy, but no warmth. A big bang with no lasting heat." Cage kept roaring onward, splitting opinions, collecting trophies, and turning into a meme icon. Sam simply shrugged. Awards and fame matter little if they lack solid roots. Above all, he grieved the fading of truth. The best performances whisper, they simmer, they cling to you like a campfire ember. Flash fades, honesty endures. Sam holds that belief tighter than any lasso. Meanwhile, offers for a Ghost Rider sequel rolled in. Producers dangled big checks and bigger exposure. Sam declined unless the tone embraced quiet thunder instead of neon chaos. Headlines erupted while Sam tended cattle on a friend's ranch, far from studio glare. Crew stories reveal more contrast. Cage blasted heavy metal between takes to fuel intensity. Sam listened to old trail songs on a pocket radio, volume low enough to hear the wind rustle set backdrops. When the film wrapped, Cage hugged everyone, animated and loud. Sam shook hands, thanked the crew, and slipped away before wrap party confetti touched the floor. Some saw coolness. Others saw a man guarding personal boundaries. Number 1, Jeff Bridges. Some names hurt not from betrayal, but from quiet sorrow. Jeff Bridges is that name. Their friendship was never a publicity stunt. It was a brotherhood forged on shared values and a mutual love for dusty authenticity. During The Big Lebowski, their chemistry lit every frame. Yet behind it, they bonded over humility and purpose. Both men avoided Hollywood glitter, preferring worn boots to red carpet loafers. They rehearsed lines under dim work lights, crew bustling around them while the two actors talked about fathers who taught respect for an honest day's labor. Jeff strummed the guitar between takes. Sam hummed harmony, an unseen duet that painted the air with trust. When the bowling alley scenes wrapped, Sam gifted Jeff a weather belt stamped with a longhorn silhouette. Jeff answered with a silver money clip etched with "Ride Steady." The gifts felt like totems, sealing a pact of humility. Then Crazy Heart changed everything. Jeff delivered a raw masterpiece, earned an Oscar, and suddenly stood on magazine covers in tailored suits. He voiced bold opinions on award stages and stepped into the bright center he once ignored. Many called the change growth. Sam felt a pang watching an old ally slip toward the very spotlight they both distrusted. It wasn't the success that stung. It was a shift in shared code. Industry insiders whispered that Sam declined a luxury watch campaign featuring both men because it glamorized a life too far from dusty roads they once celebrated. Jeff accepted, smiling from billboards above Sunset Boulevard. Sam drove past one dawn, eyes fixed ahead yet heart sinking. Negotiations for a reunion western fizzled. Sam wanted raw location work with a skeleton crew. Jeff's team preferred a prestige streaming budget and lush cinematography. Handshakes stayed polite, but hearts drifted. Sam finally learned to honor the friendship by letting it rest instead of forcing a reunion that might break good memories. Jeff's belt still lies in a cedar box. Sam opens on quiet nights, breathing the scent of leather and remembering simpler times. When a podcaster asked about past collaborators, Sam murmured, "Some folks change. Others just show who they always were." No further explanation was needed. Silence stretched until calls stopped, projects halted, and the bond slipped away. Silence wounds deeper than rage because it offers no closure. It merely haunts quiet moments with echoes. Losing a friend under storm clouds is hard. Losing one beneath clear blue skies, while the world cheers, is cruel in its own quiet fashion. The ache lingers like a shadow on sunlit prairie grass. Ask Sam about those days, and he might smile or chuckle. Yet one name catches in his throat, not from hate, but from unhealed grief. Their friendship did not explode. It faded slowly, undone by time, acclaim, and the choices fame demands when the spotlight finally strikes. Sometimes the deepest cuts leave no scars, only echoes. These stories paint a larger picture of an artist wrestling with change. Whether you call him stubborn or noble, Sam Elliott keeps a debate alive about what we value in storytelling. Hollywood may sparkle brighter than ever, but Sam warns that brightness can blind as easily as it can guide. In his universe, dusty truth still beats digital dazzle. So how do you feel about Sam Elliott's list of disliked actors? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like and subscribe for more Hollywood truths that cut deeper than a cattle brand.